The Talksport Fan Network.
The ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the Talksport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search Talksport Fan Network.
Welcome back, everybody, to Cherry Picking, episode 51. Of course, I have got my two main men next to me. Of course, I've got Matt. How are you doing, Matt?
Yeah, all good, Craig. Thanks. Looking forward to another cherry picking and seeing what everybody thinks of these new kits and the stories about Dom and this, that, and the other. So, yeah, should be an interesting one.
Definitely. And of course, just below, we have got a man that you will recognise. He's done a lot of matchday vlogs for us in the past. We have got Max Cowlard. How are you doing, Max?
Yeah, good, thanks, mate. How about you?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. Good to see you again. So before we get going, one thing I do want you to do is like and subscribe to the channel. Do check out as well after this video. Of course, we've had Harry Redknapp on recently. We also had the comedian Omid Daliji. So it's a very, very interesting interview. There's a lot of comedic stuff in there, lots of laughs, but also some quite serious subjects as well. So it's something I'm very, very proud of. So please, please, please do go check it out. One thing I do also want to mention, though, seeing as you've liked and subscribed now to this channel, we have got channel memberships. Now, I do not want to beg anybody to do this because at the end of the day, it is entirely up to you. And channel memberships start from 99 pennies. So it's very, very low cost. We will do exclusive videos eventually, or it will be timed exclusive videos. They will be put on the channel, but say for example, if we get another special guest on, maybe it'll be timed for a day so you can watch it first and then it will go live on the rest of the channel. So we have got that. Also, your logo, so your channel logo, so make sure your logos on YouTube are quite nice and cherry related, because those will also appear just underneath our logo. So you will be classed as a member of this channel. So like I say, not begging you to do it, but if you want to, feel free. It will be great to have you. So without all that out the way, shall we see what's coming up on this week's cherry picking? Here we go. So play along with our new weekly game, Guess a Cherry, and I will also confirm who it was last time round because I forgot to do that. My apologies, my error. I'm not the Bruce Forsyth standard at the moment, but hopefully getting there. We also will be covering Tom Wilkins, of course, somebody we interviewed on this show as well. And he's got some local press as well with his fantastic Cherries song. So do stay around for that. Sadi has signed a new deal. Is he one for the future? We'll discuss. Dom Solanke speculation. Should he stay or should he go now? I'll tell you what, I've got a wonderful voice, haven't I? Yeah, wow. Yeah, cat scratching a screen at that moment. We'll also be covering off the new away and third strip. And we will give our thoughts on that as well, plus a surprise at the end of that. And Iriola coming up against his old team, Rayo Vallecano, but Cherries win at Dean Court. So what we'll do is we'll cover all of those subjects. But I'll tell you what, should we start with Guess the Cherry and, of course, catch up on what I failed to do last time. So if you didn't watch the last episode, here we go. Guess the Cherry. Born in Aberdeen, Scotland in 1980, was part of the Chelsea setup, but never made a first-team appearance, earned one full international cap with Scotland in 2002, represented 4 clubs, including Bournemouth on loan during his career, made over 200 appearances in a Cherry shirt and scored 5 times, and he is currently the manager of Highland League side, Turf United. Now, who is he? You've got 5 seconds to guess. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And
well, Max, any idea? As
Yeah.
you weren't here last time. Any idea?
What manager, Craig, did you say he was from?
Turf United, Highland League. You know all about it, Max.
Turf United.
Yeah, you've heard of them before, haven't you? Famous side.
Yeah, I have heard of them, but I'm just trying to think. Oh God.
No, it's not God.
No.
I can confirm that.
No, I'm just trying to think deep here. What it could be, who it could be.
God's at Newcastle.
I don't think he's going to get it. So
no, he's not, is he?
No.
No, he's not. Let's put him out of his misery. It is, of course, the one, the only Warren Cummins. So there we go. That was our Guess the Cherry from last time round.
Should we do this week's?
Yes, let's do this week's, and I will
end this week.
Yes, I'll make sure. So if you're watching to the end, you will find out who it is as well. So go on, Matt. Far away.
Let's go. So this week's Guess the Cherry is he was born in 1981 has been interviewed on this channel. He was a Fox before he became a Cherry. He came off the bench in the 2003 playoff final. He played 67 times and scored 5 goals. He went on to play in the Europa League, and he now has his own successful podcast channel called Back of the Net and Beyond.
I know who it is, but I'm not going to say anything. Sorry, guys. I know who this is. There you go. So what we'll do, we'll cover that off at the end. So yeah, I'll make sure I do it this time.
I don't think Max will have a guess on that one. I don't think.
I'm going to scribble it down on this pad as well. Guess the Cherry. There you go. So I don't forget. I'll tell you what, though. Let's talk about a very nice man who's been in the news, who was on this channel, and has made a very, very, very good AFC Bournemouth anthem. And it is this man, Tom Wilkins. Our friend Tom Wilkins gets great press from the Echo and is aiming for the UK charts with the Cherries song. Now, how to get it in the charts? What I want you to do after this show is I want you to go onto Spotify, as well as following us, because we're on there as well. I want you to go and follow Tom Wilkins. You'll be able to find him. And I want you to listen to the Cherries song, Little Old Bournemouth, every day for a week. Every day for a week. You only need to listen to it once a day, but every day for a week. And I tell you what, we can do this. We can do this, Cherries fans, because Tom deserves it. So Tom, of course, joined us for an interview recently about his song "Little Old Bournemouth." He has had a great story placed in the Bournemouth Echo, promoting the Cherries-based anthem. AFC Bournemouth's business president, Jim Fravola, has reached out to congratulate Tom on the song and is trying to arrange to get it played at Dean Court very soon. And so it should do. So it should do. Honestly, it's a brilliant song, isn't it?
Yes. I know. For me, I think he's a great little songwriter. Anyway, I've listened to quite a bit of his stuff on Spotify, to be honest, and it's all been pretty good.
Oh yeah, most definitely, most definitely. Yeah, and Max, you've heard "Little Old Bournemouth." Like the tune?
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah. I mean, I heard it the other day, but I had another good listen to it today, and that it's really good. I don't think would ever have a song until he made it up. You know, it's really good. Do you know what? They should play that on a match day.
Exactly,
They should.
exactly. And I
I
think,
mean, he did say that he has had been in contact with the club before, hasn't he? So why not,
yes,
ask him to play it on a match day?
I think, the fans have really taken to it, especially on Facebook, and it's got real critical acclaim from the fan base. So why not play it every match day, before the game? I think, it would be received a lot better than, of course, the song that, with regards to Viva Las Vegas. I know it's got that American vibe to it, which maybe our owners are looking for. But at the same time, this is something about Bournemouth. And, you know, one of the things that I saw was people saying, well, why do people keep referring to us as little and old? The thing is that is exactly what we're getting at here, and what Tom's getting at is because it is something about our club. It's small, but we defy the odds, and that really shines through in this song. And honestly, Tom, it's a brilliant song. And like I say, everybody listen to it once a day, every day, for the next week, and hopefully we can get Tom there in the charts and being played on BBC Radio 1 or whatever it is now. Is it Global Player? To be honest, Heart.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
a bit different
it is
nowadays.
a little bit, yeah.
Used to tune into Dr. Fox, the Pepsi chart, on a Sunday evening, and that's when people used to go out and buy records. But yeah, I think it's it's all done on downloads now, isn't it? So yeah, I've downloaded it. I mean, I've liked him as well on Spotify, and there's some other good tunes as well on there.
Yes.
And I think he's got more in the pipeline. You Should Have Asked Me Sooner is a good one.
Yeah.
That I've been listening to as well recently, and he's got another track, another single, "You Are Perfect." I mean, he's got a little catalogue going on. So, but yeah, "You Should Have Asked Me Sooner" is a decent track as well. So, yeah, like I say, he's a good little songwriter, and the song about the football clubs, really works, and you can sing along to it as well. Yeah, I could definitely hear it coming across the tannoy at Dean Court. Let's hope Jim can make it happen.
I tell you what, I couldn't do it, Tom. I couldn't do it. To be honest, it would be a jumble. And as much as Fletch, gave his all in staying alive, back all those years ago, I think Tom is. Tom's a proper musician, isn't he? Really. So no, honestly, all the very best, and whatever we can do to make it happen, we shall do on this channel. So there we go. Make sure you listen to that song straight after this podcast. I'll tell you what, shall we talk about Dominic Sadi? Here we go. So one Dom, Sadi has signed a long-term contract at AFC Bournemouth. So Sadi, 20, has made 2 competitive appearances for the Cherries first team, including the Premier League debut as a late substitute against Brighton Hove Albion in April. The midfielder has regularly trained with Andoni Iraola's squad, but was left out of the recent summer trip to Los Angeles, instead captaining the development squad. Sadi joined the Cherries in May 2022 after a spell in non-league with Wingate and Finchley, and was under contract until 2025, but has now extended that further. Discussing his new contract, the midfielder said, "I'm very pleased. Last year was a very memorable year for me, making my Premier League debut. I am happy to add more years at this club and keep working. The moment I came to this club, it felt like a family here." Speaking about his development, squad boss Alan Connell, former West Ham youngster, Sadie said, "He has been almost everything for me. He has been such a big influence for me and my career so far. He is one that I wanted to bring praise to when I made my full Premier League debut. I will forever be grateful to Al, and hopefully I will keep working with him in the future." There we go. So yeah, sorry about the stuttering of words there, but yeah, I'm very, very pleased about this.
Yeah, he seems to have a promising future, doesn't he? And we've got a lot of talented players at the club, and I think this guy is definitely one for the future. It'd be nice to see him break into the first team. I'd imagine is he gone out on loan, or is he going out on loan?
I can imagine that he probably will go out on loan again. I don't believe he's gone out on loan as it stands at the moment, but I can imagine he will do. I hope it's to a decent side, maybe in the Championship, and therefore he can add more minutes to higher up the tables than he has done before. And he's very, very capable, and he's got an exciting future in the game. Without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, is it a case that the club might now maybe get him out to play a bit of football?
Well, yeah, no, very, very true. I think really it's going to be a case that, maybe he is going to get, some time towards the end of the season or some cup games. So yeah, fingers crossed. I think we've got somebody who we've developed, within the youth setup here, and it can only bode well for the future. Years ago, of course, players, within this area used to go to Southampton, and because they had a Category 1 academy. Players are starting to pick AFC Bournemouth now, and I think that's the good thing, is that hopefully in the long run we will get a Category 1 academy with Camford Magna opening, and we'll be able to attract more of these sorts of players. So there we are. That is a Dominic Sadi. So yes, very, very, very pleased with him signing a long-term contract. But I tell you what, should we go on to the other Dom? Dominic Solanke. Should I say or should I go now? There we go. I'm just trying to sing again. So, of course, there has been a lot of speculation with Dominic Solanke this past week. I've had my say on Talksport. I turned around and said that I thought Dom would stay with us, but the speculation is ongoing and ongoing and ongoing. And it looks as if nobody's sure really what's happening. So I tell you what, let's go into it in a little bit more detail. So the Liverpool clause causes Tottenham's problems in Dominic Solanke's transfer pursuit. So Tottenham will have to get creative if they want to formalise interest in Bournemouth striker Dominic Solanke. This is from the Mirror. That's because the Cherries are insistent The 26-year-old striker will only depart the Vitality Stadium this year if his 65 million release clause, not 25 million, he's not going anywhere for that, which can reportedly only be triggered by certain clubs, is matched. It's currently considered unlikely that Tottenham will put club record cash on the table. But if they're serious about landing Solanke, they could seek to test Bournemouth's resolve by including players in a potential swap deal that helps them get close to the eye-watering figure. England international Solanke struck 19 Premier League goals last season and has also been tracked by his former club, Chelsea. Andoni Iraola's side have always been mindful that Solanke would be the subject of interest this summer on the back of such an impressive campaign that saw him find the net 21 times in all competitions. There we are. That's what the Mirror have said. This is what the Express has said. Solanke is said to be on the verge of completing a £65 million move to North London outfit. The Bournemouth man found the net 19 times in the Premier League last term, with Solanke unfortunate not to have made the England Euro 2024 squad. He should have gone, in my opinion. His arrival should help fill the gap left behind by record goal scorer Harry Kane, who penned a 9-figure move to Bayern Munich 12 months ago. So that's from the Express. So this is what is ongoing at the moment. So Fabrizio Romano provides exciting Dominic Solanke update for Tottenham's fans. Fabrizio Romano latest update on Tottenham's pursuit of Dominic Solanke will excite Spurs fans, with the journalist claiming that the Lily Whites are now stepping up their efforts to secure the Bournemouth star signature. The reports linking Solanke with a move to Tottenham have gone into hyperdrive, and it looks like the Lily Whites are pressing ahead with talks to finalise the transfer. Romano has said that the talks between the North London club and the South Coast club are well underway, with Spurs trying to find an agreement. He also reveals that the 26-year-old has already given the green light to complete a move to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Romano tweeted, "Understand Tottenham are pushing to get Dominic Solanke deal done. Talks underway with Bournemouth. Solanke has given the green light to Spurs as negotiations are ongoing to find an agreement. Tottenham wants Solanke as exclusively revealed last week." So that's on the Spurs web. 90 Minutes said, "Don't listen to the doubters. Dominic Solanke is exactly the striker Tottenham need. If Spurs are searching for an outright number 9, then Solanke is pretty perfect. He's fantastic at putting the ball away from central positions in the box, and though his link-up play isn't a particular strength, they obviously don't know much about him. The assist numbers he's posted throughout his Bournemouth spell are still generous. Solanke ranks highly among strikers for aerial duels, 2.63 per 90, and clearances 1.16 per 90, and isn't afraid to do the dirty work from the front. He'd fit into an Ange Ball system seamlessly and would take little time to blend into the team. Solanke boasts a physical presence in and around the box, which Tottenham simply do not have at the moment. In Bournemouth system, he is incredibly reliable in set pieces and off high floated crosses, something that Spurs could definitely utilise more heading into the new season. His ability to read the game and create chances from pressing is similar to Richarlison, but Solanke ranks higher in terms of goals and is more reliable scorer from other types of chances, most notably Spurs' trademark low crosses, which pierce the 6-yard box. So that's from 90 Minutes. So this is Big Dom's Bournemouth record. So, of course, signed from Liverpool, 4th of January 2019 for an undisclosed fee thought to be 19 million. Scored his first and second Premier League goals for the Cherries during his 36th 39th appearance for the club versus Leicester City. Scored 29 goals during the 2021-22 season when Bournemouth were promoted back to the Premier League as runners-up. We remember that well. 22-23 season, Solanke scored 6 goals, assisting 7 times. And then 23-24, Solanke becomes AFC Bournemouth's highest top-flight top scorer in a single season, scoring 19, passing Josh King's records. So there we are. That's Dominic Solanke's stats. Solanke's career and Cherries stats. So Chelsea, 1 appearance, 0 goals. Vitesse on loan in Netherlands, 26 appearances, 7 goals. Liverpool, 27 appearances, 1 goal. And AFC Bournemouth, 216 appearances, 77 goals. So his career total is 270 appearances, 85 goals. Right. Who wants to go first?
I'll let Max go first.
Go on, Max, far away.
The only problem is, I reckon, if he does go to Tottenham, right, like you guys said, will he be consistent like he has last season for them? Because when he was at Chelsea and Liverpool, he didn't really get the game time as that much. You see, as soon as he comes straight into Bournemouth, he, like, how'd you say it, like mixed in with the team and that. You know, the first season he had with us in the Premier League, 6 goals, 7 assists. Second season, he was brilliant. Whereas we reckon he could continue that next season if he stays with us. But if he goes to, what will annoy me is if he goes to Tottenham and they just bench him for 90 minutes, or he only gets like a couple of minutes game time and that throughout the whole season, that's going to annoy me because especially if we struggle this season, which I don't think we will, because I'm positive and I think positive about my club. But if he's just sat on the bench, right, at Tottenham, whilst he could have been here, that would just annoy me. Do you know what I mean? Because he's our number 9. He's done really well. He was consistent last season. Why can't he be consistent again? You know, he's done brilliant for us in the Championship. Don't get me wrong. Was it 30 goals, wasn't it, Craig?
I'm trying to think now. 22 goals, wasn't it?
Championship. Oh, yeah, I'm thinking of Mitrovic. Sorry, it was a battle of them two, wasn't it? But yeah, I mean, I'd love him to stay at Bournemouth, but the worrying news is if he's given the green light to Tottenham, that's technically 3/4 of the way he's pretty much going, isn't he? But so what would you say your thoughts would be if he's at Tottenham, right? Doesn't get any minutes whilst you know what I mean? He could just be at us, be with us. Do you know what I mean? He's getting the game time. He starts all the time. The only time I've rarely seen Solanke not start that 10% is from fitness and injury. Do you know what I mean?
I think you got to be careful what you wish for, really. And sometimes some players that move away from this football club, you know, Harry Arter being the biggest one, you know, don't always succeed. So, you know, you've got to keep that in mind. Matt, do you think this will happen?
It's looking more and more likely at the moment, isn't it? No one wants to see him go. I mean, from a Spurs perspective, you know, can he score as many goals as he did last season? You know, obviously he scored, 30 odd goals during the Championship season in all competitions. Was it 29, 30 goals that season?
Yeah.
And then the following season, he only managed to hit the net 6 times. And then, you know, last season, he scored 19. So is this something he's going to be able to do every season? I could see him fitting very, very well into Tottenham's system. And he's definitely someone that they're missing since Harry Kane. Obviously, he's not, you know, the same level of finisher as Harry Kane, but in terms of working hard and dropping back, and not only that, he can also play, you know, behind a forward. He can play wide as well. So, you know, he gives them a bit more flexibility. I could definitely see why he's on their radar. Obviously, I want him to stay. Every Bournemouth fan wants him to stay. He's your leading goal scorer. No one wants to lose their leading marksman. But the more, you know, you look in the press, you know, I don't want to look at any press at the minute because, you know, I'm one of these, until I see him with a Spurs shirt in his hand on Sky Sports News, you know, I don't really want to, you know, believe it, as they say. But you can't say anyone can say they're surprised that someone's coming in for them. As soon as they started talking about, you know, the release clause he had and the 65 million release clause for the top six, and that, you know, you kind of knew then it was going to be not long before, you know, someone was interested in him.
And that's been ongoing since, you know, last season, because I was on Talksport. I spoke to Alan Pardew, and, you know, he turned around and he said, come on, you would accept a bit less than the 65 million. I was like, no. That is, you know, that is the bare minimum. In fact, you know, if this clause wasn't in there, I would even say a little bit more. So that, I think, personally, is where I'm sat. However, and this is a huge point. This is a huge point. Alex Crook earlier on, of course, Alex Crook is on Talksport. He's a chief football correspondent. He's done a lot of stuff. And he's actually said this. He understands that Tottenham Hotspur have concrete interest in Ivan Toney. So that is very, very interesting. That is on X. So there's that. Of course, Mark McAdam did mention that Dominic Solanke was out with a stub toe for the Rayo Vallecano game. You know, of course, you can read into that what you will, but I think that it might go still one of two ways. Now, I'm hoping that they will go for Tony. Main reason being is because Brentford, I think, will bulk at, you know, a figure, whereas we can play a hardball. We can say 65 million. That is it. We want the cash. Do you know what I mean? Whereas, you know, if, you know, Ivan Toney didn't look interested at the end of last season for Brentford. I'm hoping that Thomas Frank thinks, well, he's not put in the effort. He's not asked about being here. Let him go to Spurs, you know, and therefore we keep hold of Dominic Solanke for another season. I personally think that Spurs are going to be the only ones in the race. I can't see it being Chelsea. They've got their own issues with PSR, but Spurs are the biggest danger. And I'm hoping Alex Crook is right and they do go, Spurs go for Ivan Toney. But like you said, that tweet was made earlier on today, just a minute after 9 a.m. this morning. He put, understand Tottenham Hotspur have concrete interest in Ivan Toney. More on Talksport shortly. Fingers crossed there.
Well, the other thing with Tottenham is they don't like spending money out, do they? So, I mean,
No.
you know, if they don't activate that £65 million clause where they bypass the club and go straight to the player, Bournemouth can, you know, like you say, play a hard game and, you know, don't have to accept anything under that. So, yeah, like you say with Toney, I hadn't seen that from Talksport, to be honest. But again, until you see that player with that shirt in his hand, that will be the end of the saga for me. Whichever one of the two it will be, and hopefully it will be Toney, obviously, with his England pedigree he's got. You know, he's been selected for England and things like that, hasn't he? So, you know, you could say he may have a slightly better pedigree than Solanke, which might be appealing. And again, I think he's running out of contract at Brentford, and, you know, they're going to want to make some money out of him, surely. So, you know, they might accept 45, 50 million.
He's got a year left.
Yeah, so that makes sense because he's gone from Peterborough to Brentford now. If Tottenham get him, well, you know what he's going to be at Tottenham, don't you? He's going to be a pen merchant. So, you know, that little run up he does.
The pen match.
The pen
Yeah,
merchant.
he
I like
is though,
that.
isn't he?
I
That's
think
why
they got-
That's why he subbed him on in Euros against I can't remember in the penalty
yeah,
shot.
that's tournament football. That's different, isn't it? I mean, I think
Yeah.
Spurs something.
But I mean,
different.
I'd rather see Tony go to Tottenham and we just keep Solanke in and hopefully look. You know what my goal is, right? Just to stay up, right? And Solanke is that man that can keep us in the Prem. I know one man doesn't make a team, but he plays a massive part in it. I've always said 17th or higher, stay up. But you know, if we can get top 10, I'll be happy with that on mid-table. That's all I ask for.
I think Dom can kick on, and I think, whereas maybe, our first season back in the Championship, I wasn't too sure. Of course, he benefited from that, greatly. He benefited from our own relegation, because he got the opportunities. Callum Wilson had gone. Josh King was sulking. Dominic Solanke, here we are. This is, the final part on it, really, because, of course, things might change over the next week or so. Dominic Solanke is not a man, though, who is going to sulk like Ivan Toney has. Do you reckon, Max? I think he will, if we choose to keep him and play hardball, Solanke's not going to have a sulk on, is he?
No, of course he's not. I mean, continue. Oh, how do I say it? Yeah, I don't think he will have a sulk on. He's done really well for the club, and I don't think he's going to be like one of them players that leaves like Fraser that's two-faced or sulks. But I think he's just if he doesn't. I know he's given the green light to go to Tottenham, but if he stays here, he's guaranteed 100% more 90-minute game time. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I think he's going to carry on to be consistent, considering last season. Hopefully, he carries that on.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's like the thing is, I know that Tottenham are saying, "Oh, you're probably going to laugh at this, right?" Let's keep it PG. But I was going to say is with Solanke going to Tottenham, right? I know he could be a good part, like what Matt said, that fits into their system gradually over time. And I know Kane's got the better of him, but the difference is Solanke's actually got trophies of us. I don't think Kane's got any, even when he went to Bayern Munich. Do you know what I mean? I think the only thing he's won is now the Audi Cup.
Well, the Audi Cup, the prestigious Audi Cup. Well, of course, Dom finished second in our, in the Championship.
But we can say Solanke's got more trophies than Kane, haven't we? He's won. We got the playoff thing. Not the playoff. We got second, so we got the trophy for that.
We won the Betway Cup as well.
Yeah, against West Ham, 5-3.
Yeah, exactly.
Up at Bowling Ground.
That's better than the bloody Audi Cup, isn't it?
Yeah, Bowling Ground. Sorry, I meant the London Stadium. I'm thinking of back in the early days. But yeah, I mean, he's done really well. Considering last season, I know it's probably going to be a big ask for his standard. I know he got 19 goals last season. I'm trying to remember the assists. Was it like 9 assists from that?
Yeah.
I think he can repeat this if he trains hard in training and that, which I've seen because I've seen the Bournemouth admin on YouTube and social media post the videos of them coming out from the stadium into the training ground. I've seen him work really hard on the drills and that, and if he carries that on in match days and that, I think he could get more than 19 goals, maybe 22, 21 next season. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
If you don't try, you don't get. Do you know what I mean?
And now Southgate, I pick my mates. Gareth, I pick my mate Southgate, I should say, has left the England post. Say for example, if it is Eddie Howe that gets the England manager's job, I could see Dom, actually benefiting from staying here at AFC Bournemouth, having a great season rather than 100%. Going to Spurs and being stuck on the bench.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. But I'm trying to think how I'll say this. Right? I think he's really good for Bournemouth, right? Really good. But I don't think because where he was at Tottenham, here we go. Where he was at Chelsea and Liverpool, right? He didn't do as well because they're big clubs. He couldn't hack it. But maybe if he does still up move to Tottenham, he could prove himself. You never know. But it's about the consistency, Whereas I think with Bournemouth is the perfect club for him, and he's showing it at the minute.
That's fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Well, I tell you what, Dominic Solanke, I'm putting up fighting talk I reckon he stays at AFC Bournemouth. He beats his record last season, and then he'll go to the next World Cup rather than sitting and warming a bench at
Yes, that's
Spurs.
what's annoyed me when he. I know
Mm.
it's good that he didn't go, but it's not at the same time because he didn't get in. He wouldn't have got injured. But the thing is, if he went, right, I think he should have gone over Tony because Tony, right, was just he didn't play all season, did he? Because he got done
No.
for betting. So why would you take a player that's not played all season, right? When Southgate clearly not been at Vitality watching Solanke, or he doesn't think he's good enough or something. Like he's literally just pretty much scored 20 goals in the Premier League. He's like
Mm.
third top joint goal scorer between Haaland and is it Watkins and Foden
Yeah.
and Salah and Son, like top 3 or 4 goal scorers in the Premier League. And you'd rather take Bet365 to England than sorry,
Bet 365.
yeah,
Oh, we're
you'd
going
rather
down a
take
rabbit hole now.
yeah, or Hollywood Bets is what they're sponsored by. You'd rather take Tony, right? I can understand for the set piece and that, but I think you should give Solanke a chance to prove himself. If he can prove himself in a Bournemouth shirt, he can prove himself in an England shirt. Do you know what I mean?
The England stuff's all been and gone, isn't it? I mean,
It's just like
Yeah.
everyone says with like all the players from Man U and Man City, and they can perform in a United or City shirt, but not in an England shirt. Maybe Solanke could perform
But I
in an
tell you
England
what,
shirt.
You've got a
if,
good point there, but I just
Mm.
think it's old ground now, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
he didn't make the squad. We just want to hope that he doesn't sign, for Tottenham. And
Yeah, all I want him is just to stay at the club. Stay at the club. Because
that's
this
the main.
new player we bought, was it Jebinson? Was it
Yeah.
Jebinson? I've forgotten his name.
Jebison. Yep.
That was it. He's a forward, isn't he?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure he's a forward, right? Yeah,
Yep.
him and Jebinson, they could never know, next season when they play together, if Solanke's still here, which fingers crossed I hope. So it's not me sticking my finger up. Fingers crossed I hope. They could be a good partnership in the forward line. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, let's have a look at some kits now because those have all been released recently, haven't they? And here we are. The Cherries are all geared up for the new season. So there we are. We will give our scores. So the 2024 away shirt. This kit has been inspired by our 1992-94 away shirt, which was manufactured by Match Winner. Of course, you will be able to see it in the club shop because it's a terrace shirt as well. So it is one of the retro range, but it has inspired this shirt. Umbro have put this shirt together while keeping true aspects from the original with a modern twist. Plain white sleeves are completed by a purple trim. The garment bore a controversial past, but has become an icon for the Cherries fan base. It has a retro feel as well as having a modern twist. The cherry picking team are going to now give their views on the strip and give it a score out of 10. So what we'll do is we'll do the scores first and then we can all, discuss together. So here we go. Drum roll.
Anyone got a drum roll? Sound effect?
They can't hear that.
Right.
You have to go and get one of the drums from Dean Court. You play it every match, don't they?
Yeah. Is a 7. And there is my man crush wearing it. But yeah, a 7 out of 10.
And are you justifying why the 7 out of 10?
Oh, okay. I'll justify why. To be honest, I do like the shirt. I do like the purple trim. I'm just not bowled over about it as yet. I think it's one of those, like last season, Artex ceiling style shirt. I need to see in person. It might grow on me. The one thing that kind of bugs me about it is that the sleeves are all white. If that pattern had carried on, I think it would be nicer. And also, I believe the back is all white as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, for me, it just feels a little bit like a pattern on the front. Back's just, plain. Sleeves are a bit plain, So I would have preferred the style all over the shirt. But, like I say, it's one that, if I see it in the flesh,
Like you said, if it carried on all like right down the sleeves and the back bit, what would you score it? Like easily an 8 or more.
yeah, I think it would go up to an 8, but I'd still want to see it in person, to be honest.
Of course, yeah.
Well, I score it a 9. For me, I personally think this is probably Umbro's best away shirt that they've done for us. I think. I don't think they've, like I said before previously, I don't think Umbro have ever done a bad shirt. But yeah, I like the modern twist that they've done on it. I mean, I know what you're saying with the plain sleeves and the plain back, but I mean, they can't completely copy the kit to a certain degree. I mean, the arrows and everything seem to be, when you look at the original, seem to be in the same sort of areas and places and same kind of tones. So it's a nice tribute to a classic shirt. I mean, obviously last year I scored the third strip of 10 because obviously that was spot on as a tribute to the previous Patrick shirt with the old yellow coaches and that on the front. That was spot on as a tribute with just a slight modification to it, and this for me is apart from that shirt is the best one in my opinion, definitely. To be fair, I know the BJ8 is a big thing with a lot of the fan base. Obviously, the new shirt that I purchased at the weekend. We both purchased sponsorless. This one, to be fair, the sponsor doesn't look that bad on there, I don't think, but I will probably still get a sponsorless one.
Yeah.
I like the purple finish around the arms, around the trim of the arms there. Yeah, all in all, I think it's a fitting tribute to a classic.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. Fair enough.
Well,
should we see what Max says?
Well, have you scored it then, Max? 9.5. What is that then, Max?
Yeah, I mean, it looks really good all around. I really do like it. But obviously, like you said, Craig, if it covered all the way down, I reckon it'd have given it a 10. But that's just the only thing that ruins it. You see, I think it looks really brilliant. But if it did come all the way down, then with the colours and the pattern, then that would have probably given it a 10.
Fair enough, mate. You probably don't know what one of those is as well that she's holding. That's a boom box.
Was that one of the things back in your day?
Yeah, back in our day.
Well,
You're only a whippersnapper, aren't you, really?
Cassette.
Cassette as well. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, well, let's have a look at the third strip, shall we?
Well, let's have a little look at this one then. So this is the third shirt, the shirt that is replacing our favourite shirt of last season, and probably one of my favourite shirts ever. But here we are. This season's third shirt reflects our historic coastline as it brings together scuba green with a coral trim and images of the sea and sea life. Interesting. The AFCB lettering on the neck of the shirt has actually been designed in the shape of a shell, which gives it a retro feel as well. So there we are. So I tell you what, I'll fire away with my score first. It's a 5. It's a 5. Do you know what? I'm not overly bowled over by this. It's got patterns. Yeah, it's creative. Yeah, it's different. Again, patterns don't go down the sleeves. The one thing I would say is it just harks back to a shirt that I do really like, which has the coastline on it. As you will remember, like the aqua shirt that Matt's going to just go and get out for me. Because he's got every shirt all ready. It's only going to take him a moment. But it just harks to that. And I don't think it's done as well. I do like what is funny. I quite like the aqua colour and the pink arms because the pink it's a very, very light pink. That's just the one I was thinking of, Matt. I'll tell you what, let me make your big screen because everybody will be able to see. That is a lovely, lovely shirt, and I just I just love that. That's done better, personally.
See, that's the pier line, isn't it?
Yeah.
The
See,
coastline and that. And see, when this one come out, I thought this was great because obviously it pays homage to the town, the seaside town.
yeah,
Yeah. Obviously with our coastline on it. This one's a little different, but obviously I'll have my say in a minute. But like you say, what you're saying, that was a beautifully done shirt. Again,
yeah,
another one which I think at the time I scored about an 8, I think. But you know, I know what you're saying about the sleeves. If I can just quickly say, you know, I don't think this shirt would look right. Not this one, but the one that we've got now,
mm,
that we're discussing now. I don't think it would look right with the pattern on the sleeves. But you know,
yeah.
I get your point.
See, the thing is for me, that shirt that you've held up there is specific to Bournemouth. It's specific to Bournemouth. Now, shells. Morecambe Bay's got shells in it. Brighton's got shells in it. Portsmouth's got shells. Even that place down the M27 that we don't mention has got shells in it, albeit it's not got a beach. So personally, I'm not overly bowled away with this one. In fact, you know what they could have done to make it more interesting? I think that the pink, like, because it's like a very, very light pink. If that was more prominent and maybe covered a little bit more of the arms, I think that might have been better for me. Just personal opinion,
Yeah.
personal opinion. But I'm not a kit designer. So, at the end of the day, you know, everybody might think, well, if I designed the kit, they might think, what the bloody hell is that?
Mm.
Nobody buys it.
I don't think your crayon skills are much up to either, are they? But
No.
anywho, right for me, it's an 8.5.
Interesting.
Yeah, I really like it. Um, I do like you know me. I like
Hmm.
different away shirts. Like the Artex one last year. I really liked. This one, I think it's great. I think it's got some really nice patterns on it. I mean, I heard someone describe it the other day as a shower curtain. Um, but for me, I like it. I like the shells. I know it's not like actual images, of the beach like this one we were just discussing, but
Mm,
it does pay homage to what Bournemouth is, and that's a seaside town. And
mm.
I do like the way they've done the shell.
Yeah, I quite like
Back
that.
the letters. I think that's rather than just
Yeah.
having plain AFCB there, it looks like a shell.
Mm,
Um, yeah, I know. Obviously, we haven't got loads of shells on Bournemouth Beach like Brighton, but we do have shells on the beach. There's other sea images on there as well, and I think it just pays
mm.
homage to the sea, which is obviously perfect for a seaside club.
One thing as well, though, I've just noticed this, and this is something that I haven't noticed beforehand. In that picture, it looks as if the pattern doesn't go all the way round, and I don't know if that's because how they've maybe, and this is me just saying that maybe it could be an error with like editing and photoshopping and whatever they do, but it looks as if the pattern doesn't go all the way round, because if you see what I'm saying on our women's team player there, it looks as if there's kind of a patch where there's not that pattern. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can see where you're coming from, but there's
Mm,
pictures of the shirt. Um, they've done they've cleaned around Boscombe Pier to launch the shirt, like Sinese and I think Christy was there, and a couple of the ladies in the promotional material. But when you look at the shirt, there is different blotches around the shirt that doesn't have the pattern on.
yeah.
Again, I just think that adds to it. I personally, I think it's one of these ones that is going to be you either like it or you don't.
Mm.
And I think obviously with the way you've scored it, I know you say you've got to see it in person, but I think that with the way you've scored it, I think it's going kind of that way.
Yeah,
So
fair enough.
you don't.
Let's not kid ourselves, Matt. We'll buy all the bloody shirts anyway. That's what we do.
Well, this is it, isn't it? I mean, I'm gonna have to get more wardrobe space soon.
Yes.
I mean, yeah. I dread to think. Well, I've got two. I've got one here that you can't see, and then I've got one there. And like I say, it's starting to get to the point now where sorry for that. I'm gonna have to convert the garage into just a walk-in wardrobe, something like that. But yeah, obviously with having the new home one, and yeah, I'm sure these two will be going to the collection very soon, along with the Michael B. Jordan ones as well. It's been quite an expensive month for football shirts, I've got to admit.
Yeah, it has, hasn't
I've been
it?
a very lucky boy, so I can't complain. But
Yeah.
well, right, let's have your scores. Are you ready?
Interesting. Explain, Max.
Do you know what? The reason why I really like it, because it just, you know, like what Matt was saying, of course, I know it looks like the same.
Yeah.
But it just gives me, just reminds me of that really good season we had in the Championship. And that also, it's the patterns as well. I like going. It's like the little diamonds, isn't it, going across?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But to get my real opinion on it, obviously, I'd have to see it in person and see what it looks like on the back. But from looking at it here, I really, really do like it. Also, what else was I was going to say? Yeah, the you know, the little white bits at the bottom. What's it called?
It's pinky. It's like a pinky colour.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I like that. I really like that as well. That's something that you guys haven't highlighted out. Was what I was going to say is yeah, I like the little. It's like what do you call it?
Just a trim that finishes the is it a bit on the sleeve?
Yeah, it's like a little. It starts off strong and slowly starts to fade down. I like that as well. And yeah, overall, I think it looks really good.
There we are. So Max is voted 9.5 for both of them. But I'll tell you what, let's have a little look at what we exactly wanted. So this is what we've got. Me and Matt, you know, we rushed to the club shop straight away to get it. Saturday morning, you know, there was no ifs, no buts. Of course, we got the unsponsored version. We didn't get Cockfighting 88. We'll leave that there. Yeah, everybody knows what that's about if you've been reading X. But I absolutely love this shirt now. Honestly, I loved it beforehand. It's just bloody gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah. Like I say, you know, won't go over too much of what we discussed previously, but yeah, obviously fitting tribute to that season that we got promoted. And yeah, very fitting for the centenary. And the only thing that stopped me, you know, giving the shirt a 10 was that, you know, I felt that you know, the crest should have, you know, been exactly like it is. And
yeah,
I mean, for that just that purpose only, you know, for me, it's gone up from like a 8.5, I think I scored it, to a 10 out of 10, just purely for this crest being on the shirt. Now, I know we're not going to wear it all season. I think this crest should be on the shirt all season, personally.
I completely agree.
But it's not. And that's why, you know, I've decided to purchase this one because obviously, you know, it's celebrating the club's 125 years. And you know, I think that's important. And it's a shirt that I'll wear this season with immense pride.
Most definitely. And do you know what? I had to just get it. I absolutely love this. Of course, unsponsored version. I think it gives it more of a retro look. You know, I love how it harks back, to one of the most memorable seasons, if not the most memorable season in our history. This just makes it for me, and I just hope that they restock it and put more, get more out there. I don't think they're going to, though, which is really annoying because it is, limited edition and all that. I think really this should have been the shirt without, the normal crest with this crest on it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
definitely.
and there we are. Matt is holding it up there. Look at that. I just love it. Mine looks exactly the same.
I think whatever sponsor we would have had this season, I think I would have got this one sponsorless anyway, because I think it pays homage to, football shirts, years ago, obviously didn't have sponsors on it. And I just think with the match day on there, the crest on there, I just think it's perfect as it is, really, without a sponsor. So I'm going to look very, very forward to wearing this. I haven't worn it yet. I've still got the tag on it. I've refrained myself from wearing it at the minute until the I probably won't wear this one until the Newcastle game, to be fair.
You got to get it framed, Matt?
No, I don't know. But the thing is that's most disappointing about all this, if we can put the screen back.
There we are. Oh, the gremlins are out.
The thing about this is that all the larges sold out pretty quickly. And now when you go onto eBay, they're selling large shirts on eBay of this for $169.99. And that's the naughty thing.
Yes.
It's stopping real fans getting the shirt, and that's greed. Someone's gone into the club shop. I can't remember with the print. Was it £80 I spent on it?
Yeah, £80. 75. Yeah.
So £80.
It's gone up a lot, hasn't it?
And people, well, that's because obviously it's a commemorative shirt, and not only that, obviously with the sponsorship deal, it's kept the other shirts at the prices they are and all that. But I think it's disappointing to see that, people have purchased them and whacking them straight onto eBay. I know some people will be like, well, if people want to pay it, they'll pay it. But I mean, I just think, I think that's a shame, really.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, most definitely. And do you know what? When I interviewed Omid Deliji, of course, the comedian, do go check that out after, he did say off air, he was like, is that your new shirt? I was like, yeah. He said, that's a nice shirt. So, yeah. Omid was very impressed with our new home shirt.
I reckon everyone would be impressed with my red shirt, green short combo there that everyone would have just seen as I got to the wardrobe. I thought that had the most. Well, I've got the old away shirts on from like the championship season. I just bung them on.
Quality.
And everyone's just seen my fantastic colour.
There we are.
Matt Harrison does Matt Harrison things, doesn't he?
Mate,
you got a style, haven't you? Got a style.
That's it. Hey, what can you do?
Tell you what, let's go through our last segment of cherry picking, which is AFC Bournemouth versus Rayo Vallecano. Talk about another team shirts. These shirts are very creative, aren't they? Rayo Vallecano ones.
Yes. Isn't it part of their crest on the shirt?
Yeah, it is. It's like a lightning bolt.
It looks like an AC/DC shirt.
It does, don't it?
I thought that the other day.
Their away shirt, I might get this wrong, but I think their away shirt is black and red with the red stripe. And then you've got a yellowy, like a Wolves shirt with a black strike through it. So they all follow this pattern. But yeah, it's really, really, really creative.
The other thing I noticed as well is that all the English clubs like Ipswich, us, West Ham, the diamond on the Umbro logo has now got the filled-in diamond in the middle.
Yes.
Whereas it looked like this lot, their shirt, even their training gear was completely different. Like they had big Umbro logos on the back of their training tops and stuff like that. Whereas the UK sides don't tend to have that, which I thought was quite interesting.
I wonder if it's a different element of Umbro, but yeah, very, very creative shirt. So let's have a look at that game. So this was the team. Of course, You can see it there, and with the substitutions, I won't run through it, but quite a few players got run out. Good to see Jefferson as well. So AFC Bournemouth led at the break thanks to Luis Sinisterra's goal on 32 minutes after the Colombian rounded the keeper and slotted home. The home side had the better of the lively friendly, with promising signs for the South Coast side ahead of the start of the new season on August 17th. Dean Howson made his first appearance for the club after he was signed last week, with Daniel Jefferson making his first bow on home soil. And of course, we was wearing the Michael B. Jordan designed special edition red kit as the Spanish side got the friendly underway. We did have an early penalty shout waved away after Milos Kerkez went down in the box, but neither side registered a shot on goal in the early exchanges. The first chance of the game fell to the Cherries on 17 minutes after Ryan Christie won a free kick in a dangerous area on the right. Christie's ball come in to Sinisterra at the back post with his effort across goal, falling into hands of Rayo keeper Daniel Cardenas. The away side registered their first effort on goal shortly afterwards with Alfonso Espino's low drive fired straight at Mark Travers in goal. Chrissy was the first to go into the referee's book. You didn't ever used to see that normally, but you do now. After a challenge in the build-up on Rev captain Oscar Vallecano, Cherries opened the scoring after 32 minutes, with Jefferson doing well to win a bouncing ball on the halfway, which ricocheted into the path of Sinisterra. The winger did the rest, rounding Cardenas and slotting the ball home. 5 minutes later, Dongo Watara did well to win a corner down the right, which played short to Alex Scott, with his effort curled just wide from 20 yards. Rayo's Vallecano was the Spanish side's first to go in the book after a challenge on Scott. Watara struck the woodwork moments later after being played in following a driving run from midfield from Sinisterra. Travers saved well from a shot from George De Frutos on 40 minutes, with the Cherries entering the break with a 1-goal lead. So, how key could Luis Sinisterra be next season? I think very personally.
Yeah, I mean, from watching the game, I mean, even if you just take the goal out of the equation, I thought he was lively, he looked sharp,
Yeah,
wanted the ball, wanted to take every player on virtually, didn't he? And
yeah.
I was sat there watching it thinking, do you know what we could do with him fit all season next year? Because obviously I know he kind of had his injury issues a little bit here and there last season, didn't he? He didn't get a real long run in the team, did he? And I think this season, if he can stay fit and he can continue to perform strongly, I think we're going to see a lot of him this season. And not only just a lot of him, but I think he's going to be vital
Yeah.
for creating and scoring as well. He took that goal well, didn't he? I mean, he rounded the keeper really well, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he did. He was excellent.
Behind the goal, weren't we, on that game?
Mm-hmm.
In the Ted Mack, and got a good view of it. And he was very calm, rounded the keeper, and just slotted the ball home nice and easy. Obviously, Jefferson, like the Echo report said, he did well on the halfway line to win the bouncing ball, and it was nice to see a striker like him, come in and work. Because I thought he worked pretty hard as well, and it was nice to see him create and get really stuck in. Obviously, if Dom stays, which we all hope, I would imagine, if we believe what we read, that he will potentially go out on loan to Championship club to get game time.
Yeah,
which I think will benefit him. But he looked good as well, and for me, Sinisterra really did stand out, as well as another guy who we'll talk about next. He really stood out, and I think he's really crucial for next season. He could be the difference, couldn't he? If he stays fit all season, putting in performances like that, he could be in definitely the difference between a bottom half or top half finish.
Yeah, most definitely. I tell you what.
Especially Solanke stays.
Well,
And
yeah,
both are fit all season. I really like Sinistera, and and like I say, we didn't see enough of him really last season due to his injuries, which was a shame because when we did see him,
mm.
he was showing what he showed on Saturday.
Oh, he's quality. He's a quality player.
I
Um,
really like him, and I enjoy watching him, and I just hope we can keep him fit, and potentially whether he start all game or whether he'll be part of like a rotation or something like that. Either way, however Iriola decides to use him, he is going to be an important part of next season's jigsaw.
definitely, definitely. Well, let's move on to the next part of the game as well, and we'll cover that off. So, Iriola had his say on Dean Howson, says in the former Roma's Loney's first Cherries appearance, head coach Iriola told the Daily Echo, I think he was good on the ball. Probably it was not the most difficult game for him because we were under control for most of it. Very, very true. But I think he played in the first half on the left side, and in the second half with Marcos on the right hand side, he can give us this versatility. He uses both feet well. He still has to learn a lot from our system, from things that we have to try and implement, and he has to grow. Because he is 19. At 19, I was not even in the second team at Bilbao. I remember it's normal that he still has to improve, but I think it was a really good first game. Completely agree with that. Completely agree with that. Um, you know, Max, Dean Howson, does look a great signing, doesn't he? We was very, very impressed. How excited are you to see this man, in the Premier League? And the question for me is whether or not, he can force his way past Senesi and Zabania, of course, that central pairing.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I watched the highlights back of the game and that, and I thought he was absolutely brilliant against Vallecano. Is that's how you say it? I can't
Yeah,
pronounce it.
you say it.
I was going to go to game, but I was at work. But yeah, he looks a promising player for us. Like you said, he could. He's got potential behind him at the club. He's come from, is it Juventus, wasn't it?
Yeah, Juventus. Yeah.
Juventus, yeah, and that's no small club, in all fairness. So I reckon he's got a lot of potential for us, and he could be a really key player for us.
Yeah,
And his
definitely.
performance, if he carries on his performances like he did against Rayo Vallecano, then maybe he could be one of our main man for the team.
I think this pair gives Iriola obviously options across the whole back four because he can play right across the back four. But not only that, if he ever potentially wants to change formation and maybe go with three defenders at the back, he looks very, very calm in the tackle. Looks good with the ball. He likes to get up the pitch a bit, as we saw on Saturday. He can play forward, so it gives Iriola a lot of options. But like he says, he's got to get used to his system first. So, do I see him chucked in there at Forest? Maybe not. On the bench, probably yes, more than likely. But could maybe is it going to take several games for him to carry on training with the squad, get used to the philosophy, used to the system before he starts to play regular, or is he going to master it by then and Iriola starts him against Forest? It'd be interesting if they play a back four. Who do you drop?
Yeah.
If they play a back four, because obviously Kirkes will always be a starting left back. Right back, obviously, between Smithy and Aaron's. So that only leaves Senesi and Zabane, who both had a good season and have forged a good partnership. Even they kept Meps out all last season. And with this young kiddie coming in, okay, he only is 19, but he looked like he played the game for years. He seems quite mature about his game as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look at James Hill, Meps. What does this signing mean for them? Is it a case that maybe both of them will go out on loan? But yeah, this kid, he looks really good.
Yeah,
He's
completely.
to watch on Saturday. Obviously, I'd imagine you part of the squad this coming. That was Sunday, wasn't it? This Saturday, because I keep thinking this game's Sunday. It's not Saturday, isn't it?
Yeah.
4:15.
5:15.
5:15. Yeah, I was gonna say.
5:15. Yeah.
Weird timing, isn't it?
Whichever time it is, it's better to be early, I suppose, than late, isn't it? But
Yeah.
I mean, I think if he plays this weekend, which I imagine he will have some game time. It'd be interesting to see how he does against a Champions League side. If they field a strong side. But either way, I mean, you could tell the kid is class. I think he's a bargain for what has been rumoured to be paid for him. I think it was like 12.8 million or something like that. Is it? The rumours going on? Good deal. Because he was highly thought of at Juventus, and Roma really enjoyed having him there. And he turned down Real Madrid as a kid, so he's got to have some talent, isn't he, to mention those kind of clubs. So really excited to see him at the weekend, and we'll see what our new number 2 can do next season.
Definitely. And just to finish off, Iraola did have his say as well. Rayo are a very good team, and it is not easy to press them, but we had the best chances. I am happy. The tougher it is in pre-season, the better it is for us, because we have to find the best form individually and collectively from the very first game. And the good thing is of course we got off to a slow start last time round. It was something that I was critical of Iraola about, to say the least, but I think we're going to hit the ground running. Fingers crossed. There they are, crossed. Well, I'll tell you what, before we finish off, I'm not forgetting it this time. Let's do this Guess the Cherry. So, of course, this cherry was born in 1981 and has been interviewed on the channel. Was a Fox before he became a Cherry. Came off the bench in the 2003 playoff final. Played 67 times, scoring 5 times. He went on to play in the Europa League. Now got his own successful podcast channel called Back of the Net and Beyond. I know who he is. Max, are you going to have a guess?
I'm just trying to. I know it's going to be difficult.
Bearing in mind he played for us before Max was born, so it's probably going to be a bit difficult.
Yeah, it is going to be a bit difficult, isn't it?
I come along in 2006, mate. This was probably like in 19 something.
Oh, come on! You need to research, Max. You need to watch the old videos.
What? You see that there? Yeah, I've got the banner from the Millennium Stadium playoff when we beat. Was it Lincoln? Wasn't it 5-3?
Yeah, right.
See, I remember far as back then.
Yeah,
there we go.
And I remember when we were sponsored by bloody Hot Radio. When we played, do you remember that? Do you remember them lot? We were.
Max, bless you.
I'm trying to think.
There we are.
I'm trying to think of this guy.
This guy.
Yeah.
Danny Thomas. I knew it. I just thought that Danny Thomas is.
I recognised him because when you posted videos of our old games, like years and years ago, Craig, I recognised him, but I've forgotten his name. Do you remember when you used to upload videos of our highlights in the old games?
Oh yeah, exactly, mate, exactly.
Just didn't know the name. I recognised him, but obviously he had the logo covering his face. So
I tell you what, though, go and watch. That's the idea of the whole bloody thing, Max. Come on. But I tell you what. Firstly, go listen to Tom Wilkins' song on Spotify. But after that, go and watch the Danny Thomas interview that Matt did. I think it was last year, wasn't it? Time's flown by.
Yeah, it's just over a year ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good chat, and I knew obviously about him when he came to Bournemouth. He come from Leicester, and I didn't really knew much that kind of happened after Bournemouth until I started to research it, and then actually asking Danny the questions and the answers he was given. It was quite fascinating to learn. He went on from Bournemouth and travelled around, and then eventually made appearances in the Europa League. And the other thing as well is to check out his podcast.
Yes.
Back of the Net and Beyond, where he interviews a lot of footballers, but also sportsmen, and how they transition. Because not everybody stays in the game of football. Not everybody becomes Eddie Howe, who becomes a successful manager after playing. And some players find it difficult to transition from footballer to everyday normal jobs. So that podcast Danny does is very interesting to learn about how players do transition into everyday life, which is quite an important thing to be highlighted, really. But yeah, he's had many players on his podcast. But yeah, definitely check his one out as well, because it is really good. I mean, I watch it every so often, and I've alerted to his videos and that. Then he puts new ones up, so I watch quite a few of his, and they are really good. So yeah, definitely check his channel out as well.
And he's a lovely man as well. So yeah, do check it out. Well, that's all we've got time for this week. We will be back very, very soon with some more cherry picking. Of course, hit like, hit subscribe, hit the bell. Max, pleasure as always to see you, mate. And no doubt we'll be seeing you very, very soon. And everybody will see one of your famous match vlog videos very soon, I'm sure, as well.
It'll be on the. I'll send it to you, and it'll be on the channel, won't it?
It will be. And of course, Matt, we're no doubt will be catching up very, very soon as well. And loads more content to come. Of course, we're going to have special guests galore. So do hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell button. And if you do want to become a member, you don't have to. It's all free, unless you want to pay us 99p or go a little bit higher as well. The options are there. So it's entirely up to you. But until the next one, up the cherries, we shall see you in the next video. Thank you for joining us.
Talksport Fan Network.
The ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the Talksport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search Talksport Fan Network.